Hey guys, today I'll be answering this question of how do you connect with yourself again as a maladaptive daydreamer. Actually, there are two aspects for this question. Connect yourself again here means that someone had this ability to manage their daydreaming and then it ended up being maladaptive or being addictive to the point where it's now an unconscious habit. It's a habit which you really feel that you cannot control. So you may be just be looking for a way to manage the daydreaming or to go back to how you used to daydream or how you used to control the daydreaming. So the best thing to do with that first step is to look at what actually compelled you to start doing it excessively. You'll realize that actually maybe something in your life, maybe stresses in your life piled up, because something about indulging in a pleasurable activity like daydreaming is you might end up really spending, I think actually on average, like most daydreamers spend 3 to 7 days a day. Most maladaptive daydreamers spend 3 to 7 hours a day daydreaming. So if you spend that huge chunk of time in a day daydreaming, it will mean that you will be ignoring dealing with the real life issues. And real life issues are actually stressing. It can be doing homework, it can be looking for a job, or all those things which you need to do. So when you ignore all those things, the stresses will pile up. And when these stresses pile up, you will be preferring to go to that imaginary world. And when it becomes a habit, it will mean that anytime you're stressed, even any kind of stress like someone calling your name, you'll, or when you're rejected by a friend, you'll prefer to just go in your room and go to this imaginary world. So that means that you go to the point where you are unable to cope with the simple stresses of life. So for you to come back to that moment is you dealing with some aspects of your real life, like dealing with the responsibility or taking full responsibility of your real life, or dealing with the challenging aspects of your real life. Because the more you deal with these challenging aspects, the more the triggers of your daydreaming, which are mostly stress and anxiety, lower. And the more these stresses and anxiety lower, it will mean that you are coming back to where you were before. Of course, it's not easy because daydreaming is a bit seductive. But the thing is, as long as you work on real life, you'll be connecting back to yourself again. Now, another aspect of connecting back to yourself again, which I talked about it in the past, is even if you manage to tame your daydreaming or to manage to replace your daydreaming with something else, because you can replace your daydreaming with something like going to the gym or overindulging in self-care activities or journaling, that's still not enough to connect with your authentic self. Your authentic self here is the you behind the pain or the you behind those negative beliefs you have about yourself. So you may stop daydreaming, you may manage your daydreaming, but to really connect with yourself, you have to work on those underlying issues. Those underlying issues can be emotional wounds, can be trauma, can be negative beliefs, or can be things which are simply holding you back from living your life more pleasantly. It's the things or the negative experience you've gone through in the past that are preventing you from being fully present. They are dictating your actions and decisions in the present moment. They are making you afraid to like take control of your life in the present moment, because you might be fearing failure, fearing this and that. So they're just those fears which you've never really faced. So connecting back to reality has two aspects. It's the managing the daydreaming aspect, but the deepest aspect is connecting to yourself again, is dealing with your emotional wounds or dealing with those underlying issues which we mostly run away from. Hope you found that informative, guys, and always be ready to face the pain and deal with those underlying issues, and then you live a life of freedom and joy. Until next time, have a nice day.